Allegiance, but I'd like Mr. Zhang to introduce the students.
Yeah, so for our Pledge of Allegiance, we have Olivia Orcutt from DeSoto Trail Elementary School. She is in 5th grade, and she is accompanied by Megan and Eric Orcutt, her parents, and Michelle Keltner, the principal of DeSoto Trail. Her school activities include student government president, and she volunteers with her mom at school-wide events. She is on the honor roll, and her interests are that she loves to play piano, guitar, in all caps, loves to read, and she loves to ride bikes. So, take it away.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you so much for that. And next for our thought of the day, we have Liam Anderson, also from DeSoto Trail Elementary School. He is also in 5th grade and is accompanied by Kristen Anderson, his mom, Annette Ladle, her grandmother, godmother, Emmett Anderson, his little brother, who is a 2nd grader at DeSoto Trail, and Michelle Keltner, the principal. His school activities include being the safety patrol, and he is also on the honor roll. And his interests are soccer and playing with friends in the neighborhood. Take it.
I was asked to give the thought of the day, so I went on the internet and searched leader quotes and came across one that really made me think. And it was said by Donald McGannon, which is, leadership is an action, not a position. And I would like to say why I thought that'd be perfect for my little jumble of thoughts. And they are, leadership is an action, means when someone is a leader, they're not always a leader because they're the biggest or strongest. People are mainly leaders because they're the kindest or most understanding. The other half, not a position, means mainly two things that I thought of, which are, not everyone has to be a leader, and leadership can easily be passed down. My final thought is, if you're a boss and you want your employees to work hard, then you have to set a good example. Anyway, that wraps up the thought of the day. And remember, leadership is an action, not a position.
That is fantastic. That was great. That was so outstanding. And, you know, a lot of times we'll just hear a quote, but you gave your interpretation of the quote, which was really cool. So thank you so much. And we'd like to recognize the parents who are here of Olivia and Liam, if you would stand up, and the relatives, whoever's come here to cheer them on. And we have the principal and the guidance counselor and assistant principal from DeSoto Trail, and I believe we're going to hear something from you about DeSoto Trail, so come on up.
Jenny Jenkins, what is you coming back?
I'll be right behind you.
I have to have my team with me. Yes, we're here to present, we're very proud of our positive behavior school status. I believe we are one of 4 schools that have bronze or higher in Leon County schools, and we were a PBIS school in years past, and we just renewed all of that certification recently. And I'd like to introduce our guidance counselor extraordinaire, Chelsea Needham, who is our PBIS champion, to tell you more about our program.
Hi, everyone. So I just wanted to do kind of a run through of what we're doing at DeSoto Trail for PBIS. That's Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. So it's something that was done previously at DeSoto Trail, and so we really revamped it and really put in some time to really reflect on what we're doing to enhance positive behaviors and making sure we're recognizing the great things that our students do in order to avoid any problematic behaviors or concerning behaviors that interrupt learning. And so to look at that, what we did is we took from the model and looked at what we're already implementing. And so looking at what we're doing for our students, what we're doing for our staff and teachers, as well as our community that supports us. And so we need buy-in from all of those members in order for it to be effective. So I'll kind of run through real quick what we're doing on each level. So for our students, we have 3 different tiers, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. So our Tier 1 interventions and supports that we do are for every single student served by DeSoto Trail. So this is where we kind of implement what our expectations school-wide are. And our school expectations are what we call a STAR student. And so that's to stay safe, take charge of your learning, act responsibly, and respect yourself and others. And so whenever we recognize students that are exhibiting those behaviors, they are nominated by our school, by our staff or our teachers, and we put them in a raffle to come on the news. And so they are able to come on the news, and we share what great things they did with the entire school. So that's our Tier 1 expectations for all students to exemplify. Our Tier 2 supports are looking at smaller groups of students that may have some concerning behaviors. And so what we do there is we'll do some push-in classroom lessons. We will also look at doing like any areas we've noticed that there's some more behaviors, and so kind of like in the lunchroom. And so making sure that we are doing some sort of reward or incentive at lunchtime to really get those students to be proactive about those positive behaviors rather than punishing them for the wrong behaviors that they might be exhibiting. Our Tier 3 supports are going to be individual supports, and we have a lot of support there. And so we're working on fixing every single one of them to where we can really hone in on how to really support our students. But our Tier 3 supports, something we're looking at really supporting right now is doing some more leadership roles for our students, just kind of teacher helpers, office helpers, to help them kind of more responsibility and feel more part of our school community and take over that kind of leadership role at our school. We do problem-solving team meetings. We have mental health support. We have a great group of community mentors that come in with our students that kind of need that specialized support to really show what they can do in our class. For faculty and staff, their buy-in is also important. So we do like end of the semester incentives for any nominations that they do. We have a PBIS committee where we meet once a month and we look at data. We look at what students, what classrooms, and which teachers are really putting in the effort to nominate those students. And so kind of reflecting on the school climate, things like that, to really encourage PBIS with our teachers and staff. Community, this is something that we're continuing to work on. But recently we presented at our PTO meeting. We're looking at doing a parent workshop to make sure we're having collaborative language at school and at home. And something that we started this year, which is really exciting, is whenever a student is nominated to come on the news, we're letting the parents know, and so they can watch it on the news, really reflect on the great things that their kids are doing. And this has been something we've had a lot of great feedback on, and it makes us feel good, it makes the kids feel good, it makes parents feel good, and so that buy-in is really there. It's really nice. I think that's everything. It's a lot, but yeah. So if anybody has some questions, you can ask later. But,
See why she's our champion.
Good evening. I'm going to put on my glasses because age happens. I have with me, I'm Jenny Jenkins. I'm the ESC coordinator for Behavior Services, but this is not an ESC initiative. This is a district-wide, school-wide initiative that helps all students. With me is Stacy Haynes. She is our PBIS coordinator/liaison who works with the Florida PBIS organization to bring trainings to our district. She's helped initiate one 3-day training already where 19 of our schools have attended. And I just want to give you some brief facts about PBIS, and I would like to read to you what the National PBIS Institute has to say about why positive behavior interventions and supports are important and what it is. And then I'll give you a few basic district facts, and then I'll let you guys get on with your meeting. Positive behavior interventions and supports is an evidence-based, tiered framework for supporting students' behavior, academic, social, emotional competence and academic success. It also improves teacher health and well-being, which encourages a positive school climate. We use students in the term when they're talking about students, they refer to all children and youth in any educational or therapeutic setting. So that is ESE, gen ed classrooms, school-wide, community as well. One of the things that we preach so much is you grow what you tend to. And I am a strong believer that we need to stop focusing on what we don't want with our students, and we need to start acknowledging and recognizing those skills that we want to see. What is student behavior? What is kindness? What is gentleness? What is empathy? What is compassion? And when we grow those things, we have a healthier climate. Our teachers are happier, our students are encouraged, and our academic growth multiplies. So with that being said, our Florida PBIS is a discretionary project that helps school districts through this evidence-based three-tier framework. They do not charge for their support or services, but the time that it takes to build this requires from top down. So we have some district-level team members, one of which our meetings, Dr. Marcus Nicholas attended, and we are so grateful for your vision for this and your support. Our district-level team members include Kathy Shields, myself, Stacy Hain, Tanja Fitzgerald, Ashley Anderson, Brooke Bruner, Dina McAllister, Anicia Robinson, Scott Hansen, and then we had, was it 2 Florida PBIS liaisons on the meetings to help us with this district-wide vision, but they also send trainers to our district to provide those. Currently in our district, we have 36, which is 76.6% active schools. Now, what active means is they've either submitted a plan, they're working on a plan, or they've begun some type of implementation at the tier levels. Our model schools in our district, we have 4, and it's based on their referral and discipline data, their school climate information. We have DeSoto Trail, which is a bronze level school, Montford Middle School, which is bronze level, Gilchrist, which is bronze level, and Gretchen Everhart has sustained a silver status, again, based on their discipline data and their referral data. So I think it's really significant that we have these model schools, and we're hoping to grow more model schools in the years to come. So thank you, guys.
Awesome, thank you.
Fantastic, yes.
Mr. Superintendent, how are those schools chosen?
Chosen to participate? They're not necessarily chosen. They just step up and do it. Hey guys, on the way home, your principal mentioned something about ice cream, so I'm not sure what that means, but thank you all for being here. So at schools, just step up on their own by leadership of the principal and buy into it. I think it's good stuff, and we're right. It is. So we will work with other schools to follow this model and implement their own form of positive behavior support interventions for their student populations as well.
Mr. Superintendent and Madam Chair, it was a great report, and congratulations. I think it's exciting to hear. And certainly I agree that the model should certainly be replicated across the other district, and other principals be encouraged to participate and see you as the yardstick by which this successful intervention occurs. Congratulations.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, so good job, Roseanne. So this time I see a big piece of styrofoam in the back. I'm going to bring up Kelly Walter and some other folks to make a special presentation as we talk about positive behavior support interventions.
Yes, thank you. I'm Kelly Walter, VP of Community Development for Envision Credit Union. I'm here with my friends Kelly Merck, Marie Mathis, and Andre Harris. And there's not a better week, I think, for Envision to show how much we love Leon County Schools than this week in honor of Valentine's, because all of these wonderful things that we've been hearing about the PBIS program has really been something that has impacted our team to go, what can we do to help you guys instill and foster that even more in your schools? Because you guys have talked about, how do we grow this across the district? So we're hoping that $15,000 is a little bit of incentive to help them get there.
Yes. Wow.
We are proudly offering our monetary support of $15,000 towards the PBIS program with a 3-year commitment of $5,000 per year beginning this year for the district to begin implementing right now, this school year. Our support of Leon County Schools initiatives goes all the way back to 1954. For those watching who might not know, when our credit union was founded by 10 teachers at Leon High. And there's no better way for us to directly support those teachers and honor the legacy of our founding educators 70 years ago than meaningful programs and initiatives like this one. It has been a partnership that I think has proven to be valuable for educators and students across the district for 70 years, and it's a pleasure to support the PBIS program and to see it flourish for years to come. So thank you so much for folks like Chelsea who are being pioneers of that and leading that for the district. We couldn't be more proud to put some dollars behind it to help you guys with that. Through the Foundation for Leon County Schools, we offer that support. So thank you for letting us be here tonight.
Dr. Nicholas, I have a feeling you want to say something, and I just want to remind us, we have a picture rule. If you bring a check, we take a picture.
Take a picture.
That's right.
Bring a check, we take a picture.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair. Kelly, just thanks, contribution. Thank you, Marie and Andre. And I thank the whole team. This started about a year ago, and Kelly and over coffee at Red Eye, and what Chelsea described earlier as the coordination is intricate. It's time consuming. It's a lot of work to get people to not only create a product, but to get people to buy in. And oftentimes that goes, now I'm so excited to hear Principal Keltner and how she rewards the teachers at the end of the year, but that just doesn't exist at every single school on all campuses across this district. So envision putting this money behind this effort to reward various teachers who implement these programs is an absolute blessing. And I just want to say thank you again for Envision. I'm a loyal Envision customer, and I will always be, because you guys support our school district, and we should support those who support our school district. Yes. So again, thank you.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, picture.
I don't have it.
I wore my party shoes.
Wow.
I wore my party shoes. Yes.
Jenny, Michelle, y'all come up here.
Yes. Just go over there. No.
Look at me. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Another. 1, 2, 3.
Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for all the support.
Right here in the
Put that
front.
wherever you like.
So not to date, Board Member Cox, but North Florida Education Credit Union.
Yes.
Started my membership at North Florida Education Credit Union in 1988. I think I had $20 to my name.
Yeah, I started it around that same time, yes, with about that same amount, yeah.
About the time Dr. Nicholas was born, right?
Yeah, 81.
There you go.
Okay, next we're going to have reports to be heard, and we have our Student District Advisory Council, Kenyera, the chair, to give us a report.
Great, that's great. I graduated from A1.
Hello, everyone. It has been a It has been a long time since we've met, so the schools have had a variety of activities that have occurred since I've last reported. At our last meeting, all the schools were represented. That is Gabi, Childs, Lincoln, Leon, Success Academy, and Sales. The schools reported from Gabi that for the month of February, Gabi had a college fair on February 7th. They also currently had the last boys basketball game. And I think that's it for Gabi. For Lincoln, they recently had their Sadie Hopkins dance. They had Spirit Week supporting the Sadie Hopkins dance. They sold Valentine candygrams. They did an honor assembly. They decided senior superlatives. They also did their cap and gown pictures for the seniors. For Rickards, they did Spirit Week for Black History Month. Those days included favorite outfit around, travel back in time, and they also did HBCU attire. They also did community service. Did a community service project, was like a peanut drive. So they collected peanut jars and stuff like that. And they also dated back to January. They had a blood drive towards the end of January. For Sales, they had shadow days for incoming freshmen for high school. They did First Friday, which is a variety of events that they do on the first of the month. They did a music assembly. They did an honor roll celebration. They also did a Valentine's Day fundraiser. And also another thing that they did to help really show the spirit of Valentine's Day was they built Candy Love robots, and they also did a bake sale. Also at our last meeting, we had a speaker, a guest speaker. The guest speaker, her name was Miranda Herbalou. She talked to the SDAC members about an opportunity to earn a certain amount of money. The students are supposed to create a 30-second video focusing on why it is important to vote, and there will be up to three winners, or a variety of different cash prizes. And that is all.
Thank you for the report. With all the students from all the schools, so that's really important.
If I could, Madam Chair, we're going to add, speaking of the League of Women Voters, they are here tonight, and I'd like to bring Dr. Gale and their team up to the podium to talk a little bit more about this wonderful initiative to encourage kids to do some videos. And this is right down Mr. Jones's alley, encouraging our kids to vote, get out the vote, and talk about the importance of voting. So if you would, Dr. Gale, I'll tee you up to introduce our guest.
Absolutely. Thank you, Superintendent, board members. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. We had the opportunity last week during the principals meeting to talk to Dr. Herbalou. She is the education director for the League of Women Voters, and she talked about a contest that just blew us away. Talked to the principals, they're excited. But she talked to the student leaders as well. They've already received this information. I've talked to a couple of them about, we have this idea, we have that idea. We knew it'd be right up Mr. Jones and everybody else's alley. So without any further ado, Doc, if you'll come up, talk about the program.
Thank you so much. It's great, and I can't tell you how happy I am to follow Envision's $15,000. Okay.
Bring your check next time.
I'm bringing my check next time.
You've got some money coming, right?
But we are excited. If you know the League, you know we are about voting and the importance of voting. And we also know that kids are talented, smart, opinionated, and influencers. And we want to capitalize on those characteristics by having a contest for high school students, for all high school students in Leon County. And the objective is to create a 30-second video public service announcement about the importance of voting. They can spin it any way they want. Why it's important to vote, why every vote matters, why voting is not just a right but a privilege, any way the student wants to do it. They can do it individually or in teams. So we have, with the flyer that you have, they've got a QR code. That'll take you to the website page where they'll supply their information. The Moore Agency has been gracious enough to agree to judge the videos for us. So I think that's really exciting for students who have any interest in videography or media production to actually have a professional look at their work at this stage in their careers. So we're excited about that. And then it'll culminate with a lovely awards dinner on April 11th, where we will award the top prize is $1,000. That'll buy, like spring break or Chick-fil-A's or something for you. Anyway, so 3 top prizes. We'll show the videos, let the students talk about what inspired them, and I think it would be a memorable evening for everyone involved. So we look for your support, help us get the word out for our students. If you guys want to have like a little wager among you as to which high school might submit the most videos, that would be cool too. So anyway, there we are. Any questions?
It's fabulous.
You like it?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Great.
Good. Thank you very much.
We appreciate the league so much.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'm sure Dr. Gill will also work with them in this effort because, as you know, we use the day after the King holiday to do our registration for our young people at each of our 6 high schools, asking them to register to vote on the day following the King holiday.
And I saw.
Madeline?
Yeah, no, not Madeline. Ian's son that works now. He's in charge of the Get Out to Vote for Sancho, the former supervisor of elections. Ion's son. We need to follow up with him to get him, because he was going to come give a report, like an update of where we are to pre-register kids in our schools. So we need to follow up with him. All right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next, we have changes in addition.
No, one
I'm
more.
sorry, safety and security update, excuse me.
That's what we're on now.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Superintendent, and board members. Thank you for the opportunity to come up and give you a very brief update in the area of school safety and security. Early in the school year, Superintendent Hanna, through his leadership and with our team, working together with our stakeholders, our principals, we came up with the Leon County Schools Safe Schools Initiative, which is a comprehensive approach to reducing serious crimes or violence in our schools. And the report that I'm going to give you tonight is just very simple. One of our initiatives, the Pup Patrol, as you'll see up on the screen now, you all have met Tango, our new firearms detection dog. Leon County Schools is one of 2 that I'm aware of districts that own currently a firearms detection dog and have certified handlers. Tango, as you can see, is a very happy 2-year-old golden retriever. She's amazing. Students love her. Staff loves her. We visited, I want to tell you, pretty much every middle and high school, and some of them more than once at the request of the principals. And this is a great opportunity to give our principals a shout out. At secondary, middle school and high school principals have really welcomed us. They invite us. The staff enjoy seeing our team arrive on their campuses. And so just about every high school, middle school, we've been there a few times now. Just in the last few weeks, we've incorporated our firearms metal detection technology, which is the Ronin and the Open Gate that we've discussed. We've been to most every high school with that at the request of the principals, and they lead the operation, and it's basically a less than an hour. We've done it before school. We've done it during the PE classes. As you can see the gym there. We spend as little time as possible, but based on some comments from our Student District Advisory Council just recently, Dr. Gale was able to share some quotes from our student leaders in the district. We're very proud that the students feel as though the district takes their safety very seriously. And with the board's support, with the superintendent's leadership, this is where the rubber hits the road. When we have our students making these kind of comments, these kind of quotes, and they feel safer on their campus. So I'm proud to and pleased, cautiously proud and pleased to announce that this school year we've only taken one firearm off of our campus. This time last year we had about 7. Total of 10 last year and about 8 the year previous. And a lot of that has to do with fallout of COVID, but proud to announce that we've only had to remove one firearm. And it's because of our students, it's because of our leadership, our principals, our administration at our sites, and the hard work, frankly, of our school safety and security team. Almost 20 of us. These are high-performing school security professionals. This team is, I'm going to say, leading the state in the state of Florida in this area of school safety. We take it very seriously. Everybody you see here from Donald Kimbler, he's been around a very long time. We got Jason out front. We got Alchemise Kelly, of course, Pedro Rebellato, many of you met Brian Jones out front. We have like 6 dispatchers that very seldom get seen or heard from, but I assure you 24 hours a day, every day of the year, they're working very hard, night and day, holidays. They're taking calls, monitoring our schools. They're an amazing team of school security professionals, and they love their job. They're very energetic, and we're grateful for your support and, of course, the superintendent's leadership. He's as innovative, more innovative than us most of the time. A lot of these are his ideas. A lot of times we sit around the table, we collaborate and come up with ideas, new things we can do. The Office of School Management, led by Assistant Superintendent Dina McAllister and her team, we sit and talk weekly about what we can do to make our schools safer, make our staff feel safer, make our students feel safer, and just to create a safe environment. Of course, with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, Tallahassee Police Department, working closely with them as we do every single week. We have great relationships. And so we just wanted to give you a quick update on the progress and what the data is showing right now. We're pleased. Our goal, as we've said all along, is not to incarcerate a young person with a firearm on a campus. The goal is to not have guns on our campus at all. And the data is supporting. It seems as if we're moving in a positive direction. Just wanted to bring you folks up to date on that, and if you have any questions.
So as you can see, Chief Williams bragged about everyone and thanked everyone except one person, himself. Yes. And so under your leadership, Jimmy, I'm just so appreciative. This is job one for all of us, is to ensure for the safety of the 30,000 children we serve and the nearly 5,000 employees. And it's a job and responsibility you do not take lightly. I know it keeps you up at night, and I'm just so thankful. I was really worried when Chief Hunkiar left, but man, we haven't missed a beat. You've doubled down. Your department, you brought in some high quality people. You built on the successes of the past, and we've just really enhanced what we're doing to ensure for job one and that safety. And thankful to the Sheriff's Department. We added that second deputy to our high schools. And he didn't mention the one weapon we did find was a young kid. It was a 3rd grader whose uncle left it unsecure. He brought it for show and tell. He didn't have harmful intentions. It was just but at the end of the day, we'll continue to do the work and act diligently and do things that are hopefully a deterrent. A lot of these are deterrents. There are things we're doing on the front end, whether it's the dog or the metal detectors and all these other things. He also didn't mention that his security staff, not only do they monitor nearly 5,000 cameras district-wide, they're also monitoring web queries and the anonymous alerts and all of these other things that are brought to their attention that they then filter down to people to act on in real time. And without a doubt, that saved lives. For kids that are in danger of self-harm or harming others, it's just a tribute to your leadership and your staff, and just very appreciative, man. Thank you.
My pleasure. Yep.
Amen.
Thank you, Chief Williams. And next we have changes and additions. Ms. Cox would read those.
So the changes and additions, the superintendent recommends approval of changes and additions to the February 13th, 2024 business meeting. Number 1, item 19.08, the superintendent recommends board approval of the selection committee recommendation, DE Scorpio Corporation, DBA Scorpio for RFQ 247-2024, construction manager services for NIMS Middle School, construction of a new cafeteria, kitchen demolition, new construction, remodeling, renovations, and site work project was pulled. The purchasing department received notifications that Rippey Construction intends to file a formal protest to the award recommendation. Number 2, item 12.02, approval of MOU with the Florida Department of Corrections, pulled. This item needs further contract negotiations. Number 3, add item 19.12, tentative agreement of the 2023-2024 compensation proposal MOUs and language revisions to the 2022 through 2025 collective bargaining agreement between the Leon Classroom Teachers Association and the Leon County School Board. Contract negotiations were finalized after this meeting was published. Number 4, item 19.02, superintendent recommends approval to advertise new policy 5782, parent guardian notification and permission, school-sponsored events and activities for a public hearing and adoption on April 9th, 2024. Replace documentation. This change was made due to input by school board members at the February 12th, 2024 agenda review workshop meeting.
So moved.
Second.
With discussion. It's been moved and seconded. We have discussion. Ms. Smith?
Sorry, I did not catch that one previously about the protest from Rippey. Can we get some more information on that?
Dan, you want to come out and speak what you can say?
So sorry, I did not catch that one yesterday. Specifically, is it going to hold up the project? What the process is? I've not seen anything like this before, not that I can remember.
Yes, when we posted the intent to award, the firms that presented have 72 hours to file an intent to protest. We had an intent to protest, and that's basically all that we're supposed to be discussing at this point in time.
Was this a hard bid project?
No, it was a selection process.
Selection. So have we awarded, I'm also not familiar with Scorpio Corporation. Is that someone who's received district work before?
This is the first project they've applied for with the district.
Are they local?
So I don't think we can answer a lot more questions right now, to be honest with you. We've hired outside counsel that's representing us in this matter. It may delay it a little bit, but we think we're going to be able to work through it and get it back on track sooner rather than later.
When was this project supposed to start?
Well, it's already commenced with drawings. I mean, we have architects that are in the process of drawing plans. It's just now bringing a CM on board to work with the architect to finish the drawing of the plans. But we fully expect that we'll be back at the end of the year, knocking down buildings and getting the project started. This is just a little hiccup along the way.
The year December?
No, end of the school year.
End of the school year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we had a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Next is persons to be heard.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had 3 speaker forums. I believe one of those speakers has already left, Marianne Arbalou. So we will proceed with Scott Mazer and then followed by Bernard Stevens. And Mr. Mazer, please come to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Scott Mazer, 2655 Capitol Circle Northeast, speaking on behalf of Leon Classroom Teachers Association. Madam Chair, School Board, Council, just want to take a moment right now to say that we echo the words of Board Member Nicholas, that we can be excited about what we've been able to accomplish right now, but we got a long way to still go. And part of that kind of comes down to the numbers. We can talk about millions of dollars really at the end of the day, but when we think about this, 44% of our teachers, almost half of our teachers are in their first 10 years, okay? To put that into perspective, the average take-home salary within this package is going to be take-home, or increase is about $1,225. Take home is going to be about $800. At the end of the day, it's about a tank of gas a month. That's what we have for that first 10%. I know we can talk about what has happened in the past, but the past doesn't deal with the concerns that are present. Okay? We can also talk about our veteran teachers as well, that are 30 years and up. That's 7% of our entire instructional group. So we can talk about numbers that are for those folks, but at the end of the day, we got a lot of folks that are at the front end that still are dealing with the impacts of the economy right now. And we still have folks that through the past couple of years have not necessarily met where in the tail end veterans where they need to be. So short-term deal funding, yes, more work to be done. I just implore that as we look at staffing plans right now, as we start looking for the budget for next year, that we try to make sure that we commit to that we start the school year with something in place so people understand what their value is and their salaries are when they start the school year. This is about the same time where there's a lot of those talks where it says, well, we have to be concerned the budget's not out. We have to be concerned because now we have the vouchers. We have to be concerned about, there's always going to be the concerns. There's always going to be. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to balancing, what benefits students and school needs, there's nothing that benefits school needs and students more than the teacher that's in the classroom with them. They have the greatest impact on their learning. So we're just asking you to make sure that as you're going forward, that we understand that, yes, we have made it to this point, and there's still some work to be done. But thank you very much. We look forward to the work ahead.
Thank you for your comment. Last speaker, Bernard Stevens, Jr. Please come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes.
Greetings. My name is Reverend Bernard Michael Stevens, Jr., and my address is exempt. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate all that you have done for the county. We have some issues in this county, and I feel as if we need to fix it. I couldn't agree with this young man more. He did say the teachers are the first hand. I feel as if these last 35 years of my life, I was actually a Leon County School student. I was one of those students who was over there at the second. You know where they ended up taking me? It took me to the Department of Juvenile Justice. You know where it took me after that? It took me over to the Florida Department of Corrections. What do I see today in our school system? The same. Exactly. What is happening in our school system right now, on the sides of towns where we have all this trouble, nothing is happening. We invested a lot of money in technology, and that's not the issue. We need to invest money in the people who work for us, as well as the students who come to the school. Obviously, a guidance counselor is not solving the problem at all. We need to hire some mental health professionals to talk to these kids so we can get them some help. I can't express this enough. Mr. Hanna, you're running for re-election. I'm telling you, this city needs more. This county needs more. 30,000 students. There should not be one kid going to jail at all. What are we doing? We are failing our kids. We are failing our community. How is it that these are the same kids that you see in the grocery store, the same kids that you see at a football game, but these are also the same kids who you incarcerate? There shouldn't be no Department of Juvenile Justice at all, because as a teacher, as an educator, as a principal, you are the next face that they see besides the home. Nobody understands what's going on in the home at all. No teachers go out there. I'm the Joe Clark. I'm running for city commissioner. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going out to all of these neighborhoods to figure out what is going on in our schools. We have built multiple schools in this school system, yet instead, Griffin still looks the way it does. Rickers just got done being remodeled. Godby still has these issues. All the schools with majority of the black students, we got issues. Then we talk about the violence when it comes down to the football games. And then we beef up security. This is not a show. This is something serious. These are children's lives at hand. If we cannot teach them in the school, in the classroom, we are failing our people, our youth, today's generation. This is the people who are supposed to take over everybody's seat. But we're locking them up. The prison system don't help. I'm telling you that now. It does no service. And to say that you're going to lock them up and put them in handcuffs, we need to help our people. We need to pay our teachers more because they deal with a whole lot more in the school system than you think. I was over at Griffin, and you know what? One of the educators was yelling at another parent or another teacher, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching. What's going on? And you wonder why the students are acting out? We got to help these people. I'm willing to help you, but I asked for a meeting. I have yet to get it, and if we're going to do anything, we need to help them. You need to pay these people more, and you need to stop sending the children to the Department of Juvenile Justice and find out what the root cause is. I have several referrals with my name
your
on it.
comment.
Several.
That concludes public comment.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I could, this time I'd like to take a moment to express my appreciation to Superintendent, to Brett Shively, to our finance team, and to my fellow board members for working so hard to find the money, to keep finding money to give our teachers. We all know it's not enough, but I know what you guys have put into it. And I know the commitment you've made, and I know the hours and the digging that everyone has put in to find every dime to give to our teachers that we can this year. And I want to take a moment to say thank you, and that's what you should have heard tonight.
Thank you.
Well said.
We're going to say, well said, Board Member Strickland.
It's the red.
Yeah. Or Smith. I'm sorry, Board Member Smith.
That's all right.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I may go on the record and say ditto.
Madam Chair, ditto. Thank you.
Board Member Smith, ditto.
We have items of consent, but I promised Mr. Jones if he wanted to say something before we went to items of consent. Do you still want to do that?
Madam Chair, if Mr. Albritton would come and just talk about the upcoming projects that we have, most specifically at Hartsfield, just talk about the dollar value associated with that. And I know that the superintendent has also done some math that we talked about yesterday that I'd love for us to highlight as a part of this, our items of consent that include construction, namely Hartsfield, NIMS, Griffin, and NIMS, Griffin, Hartsfield. Okay, yeah, because I'm going to mess up.
Well, the project at Hartsfield is a new cafeteria. We're demolishing some buildings, building a new cafeteria there. And then at Griffin, we plan to build a new cafeteria, demolish the existing cafeteria, build a new gym there.
Also include the values of those projects, please.
I don't have it with me at this time. I can estimate, but if...
I know NIMS is 10 million. I know that Griffin is 44 million.
So let me jump in here. All right. So, because I think about this issue a lot. So I think about this issue a lot. You know, we collectively made a commitment to make significant investments in capital projects at our Title I schools. And we went immediately to Rickards High School. We spent $70 million and basically rebuilt that school from the inside out. Totally transformed that campus into a state-of-the-art facility. Did the same thing down the street at Fairview Middle School at about $40 million. We have the project now going at Hartsfield Elementary School, which is a complete cafeteria and music building combined at $10 million. We have this project that is before you tonight at Griffin that's going to start with a performing arts cafeteria. The day school ends, we're knocking 2 buildings down. We're building a performing arts center and cafeteria. We're going to knock the cafeteria down and build a new gymnasium there. We're going to knock the gymnasium down and build a state-of-the-art classroom wing. In total, it's a $44 million commitment. At NIMS Middle School, we had a little hiccup. We'll get through it. Be all right. We're going to knock down that cafeteria and build a new performing arts center and cafeteria, and then remodel and renovate NIMS Middle School. In total, over the last 7 years, we will have spent or committed to spend over $100 million at Title I schools in our district.
Again.
Over $184 million. That is significant. And I can promise you that has never been done in the history of this school district. Those children at those schools deserve high-quality facilities just like other children have. And I'm proud of this board for supporting these initiatives. I'm thankful to Danny and his team, and I see Rob McQueen. We have one of the awardees tonight of the Griffin Project that's with us from Childers Construction. I'm excited about because those facilities unfortunately look like exactly today like when they were built back in the 1960s, and that's unacceptable. And we can, will, and are going to do better. And so, again, over $184 million has been committed for capital improvement projects at Title I schools throughout Leon County. And that's not to mention the projects we have at W.T. Moore, the projects we have at Leon, the non-Title I schools. But I, again, am very proud to stand here tonight, excited about this project at Griffin, excited about the project at NIMS, and then we're going to move over to some of our other aging middle schools. But at the end of the day, as of now, we will have spent or committed to spend over $184 million.
And what is also important, if I may also add, Madam Chair, that is representative, indicative primarily of our sales tax dollars. We've also had other tangible investments that have been made specifically that I can recall at schools in District 3 to include outdoor classrooms, parking playground pavilions, other achievements, both specifically when we as a district and as a board made a commitment with the superintendent to make intentional investments in technology and furniture and equipment to bring those schools up to par as well, and such that all classrooms, regardless of what side of town they were on, all were similar in their offerings and their furnishings and the accoutrements that were necessary to have successful
and I'm glad you brought that up, Board Member Jones, because we do owe a great deal of gratitude to this community for supporting the half-penny sales tax initiative, which generates about $28 million per year that can go to help support these projects. Without those dollars, this would not be possible. It just simply would not. And in addition to those projects, all of the devices, the $10 million investment in devices, in the future will be paid out of those dollars. As we are now also committing another $1 million per year for instructional technology for our teachers. We've done an instructional technology audit district-wide to ensure that our teachers have the latest, greatest technological advancements in order to deliver classroom instruction. But a big part of that's about 45% of our capital budget comes from half-penny sales tax. So just big shout out and thank you to the residents of Tallahassee and Leon County for supporting our schools.
And if I may also add one last point. It is currently certainly this board, but I'd also like to acknowledge my predecessor, Maggie Lewis Butler, and our former school board member. A great deal of this work had started with conversations that started with the previous board and continue to this day to make these tangible investments. So I want to just make certain that we talk about what we know actually occurs and what has been the actual commitment of this board to make certain that we create equitable facilities across the district.
I once heard a very wise man say, if you want to know someone's priorities, you look at their checkbook. Well, you look at our checkbook and it says $184 million for capital improvements at Title I schools, and that's something that every single one of us should be very, very proud of.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Superintendent.
Yes, excellent. I'm so glad that you reported that. With that, do I have a motion and a second for this?
I move that we accept consent.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded by Smith. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. We're going to skip on down to the consideration items, and we're going to start with 19.01, and I'll put on my glasses so I can read this real clearly. Okay. 19.01, the superintendent recommends approval to advertise amendments to policy 2460, exceptional student education, for a public hearing and adoption on April 9th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Smith, seconded by Nicholas. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 I'm sorry.
Everybody say aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. 19.02, the superintendent recommends approval to advertise new policy 5782, parent, guardian, notification, and permission, school-sponsored events and activities, for a public hearing and adoption on April 9th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Nicholas, seconded by Jones. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimously. 19.03, the superintendent recommends approval to advertise amendments to policy 0161, parliamentary authority, for a public hearing and adoption on April 9th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Smith, seconded by Nicholas. Is there any discussion?
I believe that was Cox.
Oh, excuse me.
Moved by Cox.
I meant to say Cox.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm sorry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. 19.04, the superintendent recommends approval to advertise new policy 2452, disclosure of security policy and crime statistics, Clary Act, for public hearing and adoption on April 9th, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Smith, seconded by Nicholas. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. 19.05, Lively Technical College Paratransit Instructional Program. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or question? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. ESE DAC membership approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Nicholas, seconded by Cox. Is there any discussion, question?
Yes.
Okay.
Do all board members have appointees to this committee?
I think we can if we want to.
Oh, I thought we had to. I thought we were required. But I thought we were waiting on it to be approved before we started that conversation.
I think the bylaws determine, I don't remember what these bylaws say. This is just the membership list. This committee was established, I think, last year with bylaws, and so it depends on what the bylaws. If the bylaws say that, then yes, I would expect no, because I'm not seeing any board member.
Is Kathy Shields here?
She is not. There was a resolution meeting she had to cover for an ESE matter today, so she's not here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just remember, but I may be remembering it wrong. I thought it was an option if we wanted to have someone on there. That's the way I heard it.
Okay.
But we should look at the bylaws.
Yeah, I remember us having to appoint someone, having an appointee. But again, I could be misremembering as well.
I don't think for ESE DAC it was a required.
I don't either.
I'm fine either way.
To table this?
Do you want to hold or just go ahead and move it?
No, we can move it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just had a question.
Okay, fine. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Updated membership list for Sustainability Committee.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Smith, seconded by Nicholas. I'd like to make a comment before we go forward. We had a really good workshop yesterday, and I just want to thank all of our citizens and our staff who are working on this sustainability plan. I see 2 or 3 in the audience. I see Ernest Lane out there, and Mita Cowler, and Steve Erse, and of course our leader, Rod McQueen. Am I missing anybody? It's just want the community to know that there are a lot of people working on this to try to help make our district more sustainable, more efficient, and also to help our students understand through education and becoming eco-schools their value of helping save the planet. So it's really want to appreciate this committee and their commitment to meeting every month and trying to help the district move forward in this effort.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Is Mr. Magliore included on this list?
Yes, I hope so. He just became a member.
On the updated.
You have to go look at the updated list because it shows the
He's on
old
there.
list.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Having said that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Skipping 19.8 because it was pulled. 19.09, the superintendent recommends board approval of the selection committee recommendation, Childers Construction Company, for our FQ 2024 Construction Manager Services for Griffin Middle School, new construction, demolition, additional parking, enlarged holding pond, and site work project.
I move approval.
Second.
Moved by Jones, seconded by Smith. Any discussion or comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's yours.
Marcus wanted to move that.
Take it back. I'll take it back. It's yours.
No, don't be
It's your
silly.
district.
Okay, it's been moved by Nicholas, seconded by Smith. Is there any comment before we vote?
I'm excited.
You know who's even more excited? Who's even more excited?
Probably the principal.
No, the 600 children that go to that school.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Super
absolutely.
excited.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
And
gonna be great.
$44 million devoted to Griffin. That is.
I'm excited,
That is
too.
very, very exciting.
I'm excited about the parking, the additional parking.
Okay, well, there's a lot of excitement here. Is there and it's been moved and seconded. Do I have a vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it passes unanimously.
I am deliciously proud.
Deliciously proud. The 19.10, 2024 Uniform Service Program Memorandum of Understanding between Leon County Schools and the Local 1010 District Council 78, IUPAT Local 1010.
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved by Jones, seconded by Nicholas. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Superintendent, for this particular, does this unit represents our,
1010?
yes.
Bus drivers, maintenance staff.
And I just for the purpose, just to clarify, in the last 6 years, we've moved our minimum wage from, was it
$9.34 to $15.
to $15? And this shows what has been our progress these last 7 years in providing intentional investment in this particular collective bargaining unit.
It does. So we've settled. We have one group left, right, Mr. Shively? If you got the energy, we have one group left. That's 1010. We've made a substantial offer to them as well. I think you bargain when, Brett. Tomorrow with that group, I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll get the deal settled. It's another historic payday especially for our employees that have been with us for a number of years, that have been loyal to Leon County School District. So I'm cautiously optimistic that they're going to support this offer as well. But yeah, we've made, whether it's bus driver salary, food service worker salaries, I mean, we did a lot to push down into our support staff as well as our instructional staff.
What's the number in this unit of individuals-ish?
There's approximately 650.
650
employees in
people.
1010, yes.
That's a lot of people.
Thank you.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Is there any other further discussion or questions from Mr. Shively?
Well, you can say how about you do that? Say what you said the last time for this one too.
Well, we haven't
finished
crossed
yet.
the finish line yet on this one. Don't do that. The lady hadn't sung yet.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just pass this right now. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. 1911, recommendation of 612 social studies instructional materials for adoption and commencement of 20-day public review period. I would like to hear, is there someone here that could tell us a little bit about this?
What?
Oh, no, I'm just asking for a little
We're in the social studies.
instruction about
1911, social studies.
So this is for our secondary social studies adoption for middle school and high school. They have, our committee started in October, met and then went through all of the selection committees that were approved through the Department of Education. They have selected Cengage for civics, McGraw-Hill for U.S. history and world history for middle school, Savas for U.S. history, world history at high school, and economics, they selected McGraw-Hill. It'll be a purchase of about $1.4 million.
And so the process we're about to go under now is the 20-day review period for the public to comment on the recommendation.
Correct.
Is that correct? I just wanted to be sure because we spent a lot of time on the K-5 social studies, so that'd be good just for us to point out that this is our window for public input on this adoption.
Yep.
And these are the recommendations from the committee at this point.
Yes. And all of these materials are available right here at the Howell Center for anyone to look at.
Okay, that's great.
And online.
Okay. Is there a motion?
No action.
No action.
No action.
Oh, this is just for information, okay. 1912, tentative agreement of the 2023-24 compensation proposal, MOUs, and language revisions to the 22-25 collective bargaining agreement between the Leon.
Well, you beat me to it, but you deserve a pat on the back.
And I
Right,
wore my party suit.
Since you already gave me a pat on the back, I felt like it was appropriate to give you a pat on the back. I'm really excited about this. about this offer. You know, we heard teachers, we listened about the issue of compression, right? We had the teachers come and talk about a 15-year teacher making the same as a beginning teacher, and this deal does something about that. We've now at least put $100 distance between every single year so that a 15-year teacher is at least making more than a beginning teacher, and we'll continue to try to move the needle on that. We also heard from our veteran teachers. While our beginning teachers have been getting pay raises in $5,755, 22-23, $3,322. Our veteran teachers were not seeing those increases. This is the reward those that have been good and loyal to us for a number of years. And I am proud that now from year 15, it's a little over $2,000 upwards in the scale to over $4,000 for our veteran teachers. This is a $5.1 million investment. And I want to thank you for some tough discussions that we had. We're going to have to tighten our belt. That we found, you know, that other $1.12 million that we added to this to get this deal done and to get our people paid was the right thing to do, but I'm just going to be bluntly honest. We're going to have to make some cuts in July. We're going to have to tighten our belt and make some cuts and make some tough decisions. This wasn't just dollars that were floating out in Never Never Land. These are going to be reduced and eliminated moving next year to get this done. But I can't thank Brett and his team enough for sitting in there and getting the work done. You know, Leonard came in at the end, but this was a lot of work on Mr. Shively's part. But at the end of the day, this was the result of us listening. We addressed the issue of compression, and we addressed the issue of trying to push more dollars to our veteran teachers who in years past, because of the legislature and because of the way the laws were written about how those monies were to be distributed, not anything we did or through negotiations, right? But this was kind of righting the ship to bring those folks back in line and to give them their just due. But I can't thank you all enough. I mean, this was a team effort. And look, the haters are going to hate, but we're going to keep on doing the work and doing the best we can, because I know where your heart is, I know where my heart is, and we're going to do the right thing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I see we also not only have this compensation proposal, but there are also some article revisions to the teacher contract that they wanted, we wanted. So that's also been accomplished as well.
Yep.
Good point. I've lost track. We were so happy. Didn't we make a motion yet?
Motion to approve.
Second.
And Madam Chair, before we vote on this, I also just want to thank you, Ms. Smith, for saying what you did, because I think a lot of us have been in the classroom before. I mean, 36 years I was in the classroom, and there were years where we did not get a penny raise during the last recession that we had. And you know what? As a teacher that loves their job, money does not solve all the problems, and we know that. But I'm telling you, I'm so grateful for this district, and I had 33 amazing years teaching in this district, and I would not trade that for anything. This is a great place to live. It's a great place to work. And I think people just need to be a little thankful. Times are hard for everyone right now. I mean, it's a tough time financially for many, many people. And the stories that we heard are truly heartbreaking. But all of us know people that are struggling in this financial world that we're living in right now. But I think an attitude of gratitude goes a long way, of being thankful for where you are and the job that you have and the influence that you get to make on people. So, Superintendent, I cannot thank you enough. Your heart is in the right place. I am so proud to work with this board. Thank y'all and Brett, your group, thank y'all so much. Well done.
Can I just add one thing that I should have said? We have moved beginning teachers. We had some help from the state, right? From $36,500 to $47,500. That's an $11,000 increase over the last 6 to 7 years. That's 30% increase in beginning teacher salaries. Veteran teachers today are making $1,000 more per month than they were 7 years ago. That's significant. Now, again, we're going to keep doing what we can do every single chance we get. But it's that balance of the additional staffing in our schools, the additional materials for teachers to provide a high quality of instruction, and then raises for our employees. It's that balance. And then, the financial stability of the district for years to come. Okay? But again, I'm just honored and proud to do the work with you guys.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
After you. I was going to, Madam Chair, so again, congratulations to all. Great job. Well said. I do have a question about at the highest level, what are some of the contributing factors for getting a contract done before August or before the school year starts. So it can be a workshop item if you want to address it now, but I'm at the highest level, I just want to know, what kinds of components will we have to bring together in order to make something like that actually happen?
In order to pay recurring salaries, you have to have recurring dollars, and we can't commit dollars until we are 100% confident that we're going to continue to receive those dollars. It's easy to have a savings account, but that savings account is going to run out, and unless you have dollars to replenish it, then you're going to be bankrupt. And so it's us having firm financial understanding of what the legislature has allocated, what our student enrollment numbers are. I mean, we're still seeing the effects of the expansion of family empowerment scholarships. We just are, not unlike districts throughout the state of Florida. They're still wrestling with this issue. So it's us having, if we don't get more money from the legislature in base student allocation funding, and we have a decrease in enrollment, we're not generating new money to commit to reoccurring salaries. So it's that combination. If we were growing 1,000, 2,000 students every year and generating tens of millions of dollars, like maybe St. John's and Walton and some other places that are booming right now in the state, which we are not, we have a lot of growth, a lot of development, but it's people my age, that don't have school-age children. But it's us. It would be irresponsible of us financially to overcommit ourselves in July or in the full financial picture of where we are going to be lined up. And I don't want to delay either. Trust me, I want to get this done as well. But what I dang sure don't want is overcommit us and something happen and then we're having to answer to people that we don't want to answer to.
Anything else?
Madam Chair, I just want to add, I am honored to serve with all of you. If persons were a fly on the wall when we go into executive session, they would know that all of the persons who sit on this dais are former teachers and educators in our district, with me being the one exception. And so I just want to add that your advocacy and your sensibility, born of your having been educators, each and every one of you, has certainly informed the progress that we have made in making these intentional investments these last 7 years.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, I think it's time for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Yay!
Okay, we have, looking down, superintendent comments.
Briefly, Madam Chair, Denver has, I think, a few snapshots we took the other day. We were at Hartsfield Elementary School to recognize the new primary years program and our Baby IB that'll then feed into Fairview and to Rickards. We also had a wonderful African American history culture competition at James S. Rickards High School. We cut a ribbon at the new tennis courts at Leon High School. I have been volunteering to substitute as principal for the day of principals that need to take a day off or whatever. So I'm stepping in. The other day I was at Pineview Elementary School. Carmen Connor was asked to speak of the great things she's doing at a conference, and so I subbed for Carmen. I had a very detailed substitute principal list down to the minute. I was very busy, but it was great being back around the kids. We have a LCS Be There campaign that Dr. Gale and others are launching to start encouraging attendance and working through some of those attendance issues. But again, everything's good, alive and well in our school district. And Denver, thank you for putting this together. And we're going to have more. Pineview and Bond have also just been recognized for another significant award. We're going to bring them back to the next school board meeting to give them their flowers at the end of next month. So just again, great things going on with Oshana and with Carmen, and not just the two of them. And you saw Michelle Keltner here tonight. We have some amazing school leaders.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Superintendent. Student school board member, Mr. Zhang.
Yeah, I just want to take the time to thank my fellow school board members and Mr. Superintendent. You guys have done everything in your power, every single school board meeting, every single day, to ensure that teachers get paid, students get the resources that they need. And it's amazing to see. I'm incredibly thankful for the work you've done. I mean, as a student, I see the work that you have done implemented in the classroom. I see the effect that it has on the teachers, my fellow students. It's amazing. I see the resources that get put in, all these renovations from these schools, the PBIS programs. It comes together, and it means so much to me, my classmates, community members, and everything. So, I mean, thank you guys so much, genuinely.
Well said.
Thank you so much.
I like your shirt.
Continuing topics from board members. Are there any? They're none listed, but are there any that somebody wanted to bring up?
Yeah, well, this is something that I kind of talked about yesterday, but I was wondering, I had a wonderful meeting with Assistant Superintendent Billy Epteen as well as June Kale, and they had a detailed list of all of the district contracts that we have with Leon County Schools. I was wondering if we can share that list with the school board. Okay. It's a wonderful list. That's all for new. That's all for continuing.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, new topics from board members.
No, go ahead, because you got a list.
Oh, I'll go. Both be quiet. Okay. So I had a concern raised with me from a parent about a week ago, and it resonates with a concern from about 6 months ago. And so I wanted to ask everyone here what they know about. Have we ever had a ESOL advisory committee or a secondary language advisory committee? This was a concern from a family that the parents don't speak English. Their first language is Spanish. The children are bilingual, but it just really brought to light the challenges as we educate children who are bilingual, but the parents are not, and what the struggle that this family is going through. It just really resonated, and I think partially because I have a child in another country, and now it hits home. It's different when it hits home, and you're like, I get it, because he has trouble communicating. So, what must our parents going through that don't know even where to start with some of our forms, don't know where to even reach out to for assistance because they just don't speak the language. And I thought about an advisory committee. Have we done that in the past? Is that something?
And why don't we bring, Shane, if you want to come, you can speak to it, but I think we bring Althoria Pickett, who is a coordinator over that program, to kind of give an update of what the landscape looks like district-wide from school to school. Okay. With this population. We actually had a really good meeting with a local church that wants to start adopting some families at Bond and at NIMS Middle School to help with the parenting and the navigating of a new culture, a new country, a new culture, a new language. But I think Althoria doing a report try to talk about what all she does would be helpful.
And so we do we have a parent committee that we form with our ESOL family that it helps us inform our Title III grant and our refugee grant.
Okay.
So we do have that committee that meets annually.
I was thinking, and Michelle and I talked a little bit. There's so many languages in our district, but I would imagine a bulk of them are Spanish speaking. And as we see that population increasing, I think South Florida, the districts down there have full-blown departments that are bilingual and they know how to navigate this. And do we have someone bilingual in the district that can really speak to them on a first language level of Spanish?
We try our best to get employees into our schools with that. So any school that has over 15 students that speak a certain language, we try our best to get an instructional aide to help support those students with that specific language. And so it's not always easy to get every language.
Yeah.
But we try our best and advertise it as quickly as possible to get those instructional aides out there to support our students.
Okay. That's something I definitely would like a little bit more information, and maybe
we can
something that
certainly do that.
elevate the
We have
awareness
over
of.
61 languages across.
I know. Oh, and speaking of, could we get a count on
can.
how many children speak each language? I know there's a ton of them, but we had the kid at Deer Lake, they put out an email one day, who speaks Mandarin? And we're like, really? Who
Yeah, we
speaks
can certainly
Mandarin?
do that.
I mean, so that was obviously a small percentage, but I'm wondering specifically about the number of Spanish-speaking children in our schools.
Yeah, that is
It
our
sounds like a
largest.
great workshop. And
Oh, thank you. Yes, workshop.
And I would love for you to combine that with a report on our refugee children.
Okay.
So
Yep.
it's-
Yep, that sounds good.
Maybe put those two
All in
together.
the same thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, that's great.
Were you next?
Okay,
Yes, you're next.
Am I next?
You're next.
Got to close the show.
We'll save the best for last.
Yeah, right.
I have something too.
So, this is a question. Are our school board meetings archived? And somewhere, are they available for public consumption?
They are.
Who said that?
The archiver.
I didn't see anybody move their
Oz said that. The great and wonderful, right?
If you go to the Leon County School homepage, at the very top, there's a link, and that will take you to our on-demand section, and all of them are archived in there.
Okay, I'll try that. I was looking for it earlier because someone had asked me about where past school board meetings were, and I could not find them. So I'll look again. So they're on demand, right, Denver?
They are.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jones?
I just want to share that just today I had the opportunity to visit my Pineview Elementary School in my district, and today for the 5th year, Bart Gunner with Hub provided a book fair for all of the children at Pineview, where every single student was able to get at the book fair with a voucher that they provide. And I just wanted to acknowledge Bart Gunner and the great folks at Pineview, Principal Carmen Connor, Aronde McCann. He was joined by Laura Rogers, who is a fantastic community trustee with World Class Schools and also a part of the Hub Insurance family. But I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I want to use that as an opportunity to invite other businesses to make that intangible and impactful investment in our kids, particularly as we talk about literacy. Imagine a kindergarten kid who's able to get a book and take a book home, and then every year able to build their own library through this intentional investment by a business like Hub and Bart Gunner. So I just wanted to acknowledge them for that. And then I also want to acknowledge the great progress that is being made at the R. Frank Nims Middle School. On this Thursday, as many of you are aware, NIMS Middle School has a pre-law program, and this year we want to take our pre-law students to a trip to Washington, D.C. So they're having a special leadership convocation that we're inviting members of our community to come and visit and take tours of the school, see our young people involved at the middle school level, involved in legal activities and mock trial activities where they are able to provide reenactments of court trials and court cases, as they even use it as a tool to do self-discipline of their own fellow students. But it is a wonderful model, and we learned yesterday that that learning continues when they then leave, because they're able to enroll in criminal justice studies at Rickards High School. Those types of bridges and pathways, and through community support, are making an intangible difference with our kids. So we want to invite y'all to join us at NIMS Middle School on Thursday and meet our kids and see them in action. Thank you so very much, Mr. Superintendent, Madam Chair.
What time on Thursday?
High noon.
High noon. Thank you. Anybody else with a new topic? I'm just going to bring this up, not for an answer tonight, but I just spoke with a teacher today, and one of the things that were frustrating to this teacher is that in the focus system, they've taken out the ability for a teacher to mark a student late, which used to be, and the other so that, teachers really care about this, to be able to keep track of who's late and have some consequences associated with that. And also said that the 48-hour to excuse an absence is gone. I'd like to find out more about that. Is that true? Because that becomes a rule when there's no deadline to excuse an absence, and then, at the last minute, the last day of the 9 weeks, the wants all the makeup work because they suddenly get excused. So I'd like to know more about that because that's a real frustration. And I always thought there was in the past a 48-hour rule, but I don't know if that rule's still intact. And that was the request of this teacher. And
Is it a high school teacher?
high school teacher, yeah. And then there's a provision about driver's licenses. If a student misses so many days, they aren't able to have their driver's license, which is a real consequence for a teenager. And so I'd just like to get an update on how we're enforcing that. So those are just some, those classroom everyday things that bug teachers. That happens to be 3 things that I learned today. So I wanted to pass that on and see what we could follow up on it, okay? Okay, that's all I had. Anybody else? Okay, well, I believe for the good of the group, for the good of the audience, we're going to say goodnight. Meeting adjourned.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.